So everyone who's listening right now, if you have a Hunger Games book nearby you, or don't walk too far because you'll miss it, and that'll defeat the whole purpose. But if you have a book, and this is the Hunger Games, the first Hunger Games book, go find it because this is an actual thing that involves using your book. And what we're going to do is it's called Pick a Page, and Savanna is going to use some kind of number randomizer, which I trust that she's legitimately doing.
Yeah, it's random.org. Random.org.
I'd be the type to pick a real page, but Savanna would never rig something like this. Just let you know. Okay,
yes, I'm very honest.
Savanna's going to pick a random page, and we're going to turn to that page, and we're just going to have a spontaneous discussion about what the meaning of this page is in the Hunger Games. And the good news is there's so many pages in the book that we could probably do this in a number of future weeks if you all like it. So we're experimenting with this.
Yes.
We want you all to...
Hello?
Adam, are you still there? I don't know what happened to him. That's okay. So anyway, I think he got disconnected. Huh? I know. I feel really bad for him. Okay, he'll probably be back in a second. But, yeah, so like Adam said, I'm going to use random.org just to pick a random number, and then we'll all turn to that page in the book, and we can just share any thoughts about it. And we're hoping that maybe we can use this in future weeks if there are more slow news weeks, if Lionsgate, continues to not help us out with stuff, with news. Give us more pictures. Okay, so I'm using random.org, and the number is 307. Okay, so we're all going to turn to page 307.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And let's see what happens on the page. This is kind of like a read-along of the book, but one random page at a time.
Oh, this is right? Paper too.
Ooh. Okay. So what is happening on page 307? This is Crystal. This is so funny. Because
you're going to have to describe it to me.
Yeah, we're going to describe it to you. So believe it or not, this is very coincidental. They're actually eating part of Haymitch's, the meal that he sends to them. The lamb stew, the rice, all of that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, Adam's back. Adam, are you there?
Yeah. Yes, but I don't know what page we're on.
We're on page 307. 307.
Oh, excellent.
And here's what's crazy. Here's the crazy coincidence, Adam.
Okay.
On this page, Katniss and Peeta are actually eating one of the meals that Crystal made over the weekend for fictionalfood.net.
Wow. The coincidence is unbelievable.
So it's lamb stew and rice and rolls. And what else was in that meal, Crystal?
Apples and goat cheese.
Apples and goat cheese.
I'm also seeing a pretty ominous sentence on this page. Thresh is dead, says Peeta.
Yeah.
That's sort of a buzzkill to the picnic. Don't you think? So here we are talking about food.
And, this is actually really kind of interesting to me because we never really find out what happened to Thresh.
Right.
There was something cool happening on Tumblr, I think, last week. People were throwing out their different theories about what actually happened to Thresh, whether or not it was this epic battle with Kaito that actually did him, or whether or not Thresh took himself out of the game, kind of in penitence for Rue and not being able to protect her. But there's definitely a lot of questions around Thresh and what finally finished him off, because he was, kind of the clear strong horse at this point in the book. Even Kaito was afraid of him.
Yeah.
It's really, I'm not sure where they mention this, but wasn't it said that Thresh was sort of sticking to the fields?
Yeah, he stayed most of his time in the meadow and nobody followed him in.
This is just, if you think about it, so it's like pouring down rain, there's this storm. It's just this, like, tragic, very kind of haunting thing to picture. If you imagine Thresh, like, alone in this meadow full of tall grasses in the pouring rain, meeting his end. I'm wondering, do you think in the movie they'll show a hint of what happened to him?
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting if you think about it, because you would think that, like, with what he meant to Katniss, and she, like, cries over him and stuff, that she didn't mention it when she watched the recap when they were back in the Capitol. Like, if anything, I thought she would have mentioned it then, where she's like, oh, so that's what happened to Thresh or something like that. But, yeah, she didn't say anything.
Yeah, I just keep having this image of our friend Dio being dead. And that's kind of his
I know, it's really heartbreaking.
Because he's such a cool guy, such a great actor, and a great friend of our show, too, who listens regularly and has tweeted us before about it. But no, what a great guy. It's really sad. And, you know, especially after he made such a sacrifice for Katniss. And if I could be permitted, I was just looking at the bottom of the page, such beautiful prose and diction from Suzanne Collins when she says, I slumped down against the rocks, momentarily forgetting about the task at hand. Thresh dead. I should be happy, right? One less tribute to faith, and a powerful one, too. But I'm not happy. All I can think about is Thresh letting me go, letting me run because of Rue, who died with that spear in her stomach. So Suzanne Collins really knows how to kind of tug at your nerves there, at your heartstrings. You know.
I'm trying to think about anything else. Well, I'm curious, like, what do you, if you had to, like, give a semi-certain prediction about Thresh's death, does anyone feel strongly one way or the other? I mean, I think that it might have been Cato, but I feel like it was, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like there are
always thought.
Yeah. There are references when they meet again with the Mutts that Cato has been really beat up.
Yeah.
And, you know, it could have happened, naturally in the course of the games, but I suspect that in between when they see him last and then that, you know, he really, like, got into it with Thresh, and Thresh is the one who really beat him up.
Because, I mean, I think Cato was kind of actively pursuing Thresh because that, to him, you know, I think in his mind that was the last obstacle. It wasn't Katniss and Peeta.
Well, not only that, I mean, he just killed Clove, so I think he would have gone after Thresh.